He saw his dogs digging at the ground, but when he approached them to see what it was, he turned pale. A lot of the time, heroes are usually seen as brave people who will stop at nothing to stop the evil that threatens those that they love, or just society in general. But the hero of this story was actually a dog who did something truly incredible. The story took place in the village of Ban Nong Kham in the Champwang district northeast of Bangkok back in 2019. The day had started out fairly normal for a villager named Usa Niseka. He was out in his fields tending to his crops and cattle like any other day. Accompanying him like always was his adorable dog, who the man had named Ping Pong. The dog often enjoyed roaming the fields with his owner and doing whatever he could to help him out on the farm. Life hadn't been easy for the cute canine though, as when he was younger he had been hit by a car when he had been walking on the road. The day that it happened, Usa had been tending to his field when he had suddenly heard a loud yelp. The man had run over to where he had heard the noise come from and had discovered his pup lying on the side of the road, injured. The person who had hit him had clearly driven off, not bothered by the hurt that they had caused. Usa had been frantic with worry. He didn't know if his four-legged friend was going to be okay. He was a true canine lover, as he already had one dog named Kwanjai. The man had quickly scooped the pup up into his arms and got into his car. He drove to the nearest vet's and quickly rushed the animal inside, hoping the vet would tell him that the dog would be fine. After an agonizing wait, the vet finally told Usa that whilst Ping Pong had injured his leg in the accident, the dog himself would be fine after a little bit of rest and some love and care. Usa was incredibly relieved. He would still have his friend to tend to the fields with him and simply enjoy spending life with him. However, the vet did not tell the farmer that the canine's front right leg had been severely damaged and that it would be unlikely that the animal would be able to use it anymore. Usa was upset that the dog had lasting damage, but grateful that it wasn't nearly half as bad as it could have been. The farmer thanked the vet for his time before taking his pup back home. After the incident, which made the dog a hero, the farmer was asked in an interview why he had decided to keep the dog, as there were plenty of other healthy strays that Usa could have chosen to help him in the fields instead of a three-legged dog. "I kept him because he's so loyal and obedient and always helps me out when I go to the fields to tend to my cattle," Usa had explained. "He's loved by the entire village. It's amazing. And Kwanjai loves him too. They always play together." On the day that changed Usa's and Ping Pong's life, the trio had set off into the fields early in the morning, eager to get the main jobs of the day out of the way before the sun became too hot to bear. Once the morning had passed, Usa decided to take a break under one of the trees that were on his property to shade himself from the oppressive sun. It was here, whilst he was enjoying some lunch and a cool drink, that he first heard his dogs, Ping Pong and Kwanjai, barking. At first, the farmer believed that they were simply enjoying themselves by chasing an animal of some kind. It wouldn't be the first time that his furry friends had gotten overexcited by a little rabbit or rodent of some kind. But after a few moments of their consistent barking and whining, Usa began to get worried. The farmer decided to abandon his lunch and quickly make his way over to where he could hear his dogs. Upon arriving at the location where Ping Pong and Kwanjai were, the farmer saw just how strangely the animals were acting. An anxious Kwanjai stood beside Ping Pong and barked excessively. Ping Pong was pacing back and forth, whilst going back to dig at one particular spot every few seconds. But instead of digging at the ground frantically, much like he would have done had there been a small animal nearby that the canine was trying to get to, the dog was trying to move the dirt more carefully. It was as if he was afraid of hurting whatever it was that was underneath the soil. As Usa got closer and watched Ping Pong dig, he was astonished at what the dog suddenly unearthed, and turned pale at what he knew he had found. There, hidden amongst the dirt and the dust, were the tiny feet of a baby. "I heard the dogs barking and a baby crying in a cassava plantation, so I went there to check," he told local media. The dog was digging up a dirt pile and the baby's legs emerged. Desperate to know that the baby was okay, the farmer gently pushed Ping Pong out of the way and instead knelt down in the canine's spot. Usa began to gently but quickly uncover the rest of the dirt off of the child until he finally unearthed the baby fully. But the most shocking thing was that the child was still alive. After hearing all of the commotion and noise that the dogs had been causing, A couple of other nearby farmers had made their way over to see where Usa was. Upon seeing the man uncover the baby from the dirt, they were all shocked. How could someone just leave a baby all alone in the field? More than that, how could they try and bury it as well? As soon as the baby was safely recovered, Usa called the police. Once the story had been told, Lieutenant Colonel Panuat Putakam of Champuang Police went to the village and opened up an official investigation to try and discover the mother of the baby. Being such a small village, it wasn't long until someone came forward. But it was not who the police were expecting. It turned out that a young 15-year-old girl was the mother of the young baby. Her name was not revealed in order to protect her identity, as she herself was only still a child. The girl told the police that when she had found out she was pregnant, she had become incredibly frightened. She didn't know what to do. For the last 9 months, she had kept the secret from her family, ashamed for being pregnant so young and scared at the repercussions from her father for her condition. When the girl felt it was time for the baby to arrive, she had taken herself out into the field late at night when no one would find her and had given birth to the healthy baby boy. But, afraid of being a mother and everything it would entail, the young girl had panicked and tried to hide the baby in the field by covering it with some dirt. After being discovered by the police, the girl told them how she had regretted her actions. She was then taken into custody. The girl is now in the care of a psychologist and her parents because she is in great fear, said the lieutenant in a statement to the press. She regrets what she did and said she acted on impulse without thinking it through. She feared her parents would find out she had been pregnant. The baby was taken in by the young girl's parents, who said they would raise him as one of their own. For a lot of girls, getting pregnant, especially so young, can be scary. So it's important that they are given the right care, attention, and help that they need in order to make the best decision for themselves and their child, should they want to keep it. As for the dogs, especially Ping Pong, they were given lots of praise and love from the villagers for their amazing heroics of finding the baby and rescuing it. If it hadn't been for the pups, then the story could have ended much differently. I think it's safe to say that these dogs deserve all of the treats and love that people can give. What incredible dogs! Let me know what you thought of the story in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome content.